All right, so we're still on step 4 of the passport to creativity, which is experience. And so far we've been experiencing the shift to the right brain. Similarly, I'd like to share a few ideas around experiencing the present moment and what it means to be aware of the present moment, in the sense that it's almost like a sensation or an experience that is different than the everyday that we're usually going through when our mind is kind of running the show. And so I kind of want to talk a little bit more about that, because I think that there's a real neat value to being in the present moment, as in terms of not only life, but also in terms of creativity. This next set of videos is going to talk about the present moment from the perspective of the metaphysical level. And that can sound weird, that can sound woo-woo, that can sound spiritual, it can sound all kinds of different ways depending on your perspective and your background. But I feel like it's very important, because more often than not, our brain is kind of focused on the future, or it's thinking about the past. There's a lot of patterns that are in our brain that have been wired from our experiences and our behaviors in the past, and they have a lot of the ability to influence the future without our awareness of what's going on. And so the more we can become present and be aware of what's actually now, the more we're able to interrupt those patterns and stop them from just kind of driving our life forward based on our history. I want to try to make it a little easier to understand the idea of the present moment being the only thing that actually exists now. It's not that the past didn't exist, and it's not that the future won't exist, but we really don't get those. I can't write something in the future right now, and I can't go back in time and do something that has already occurred. It's already gone. So it's really important to recognize and make that as concrete as possible. I mean, if the Earth blew up tomorrow, like in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, there's no future. It does not exist, never will exist, because it never did exist until we get to it. Same thing with the past. If you have amnesia, you don't have memory, and so there's no connection to what occurred. You know something happened, you know the past did exist, but you definitely know that the past is not now. I think another reason why it's challenging to be aware of the present moment, or even care about the idea of only the present moment, is because it's not really a moment. It's not really it's not static. It's fluid. It's always moving forward. Every single thing I'm saying out loud is moving into the next moment. And so it's like, if you look at like a watch, you see the old watch, I should say, with the second hand, you see it ticking. Time is always moving forward. If you watch a Rolex, it's sweeping, right? Time is sweeping. So it's kind of like, you're almost like in a river. I think a lot of Eastern philosophy talks about this idea that time is like a river. You never step into the same river twice, is one of those kind of ideas. So it's really about kind of being in the flow, being in the groove. I've talked about the flow before. It's being kind of present is moving forward. We'll see if this indulgence works or not, but the idea is, I just thought, one other thought is that right now, where you're watching this is a recording, so you're seeing this in my future. I'm talking right now. I can hear myself right now in this situation, but you're hearing it in my future. And you're watching something that was recorded in your past, but you're watching it right now. Right now, right now, right now. Anyway, the point is, it's a fact. We're always in the present moment when we're present. The point is, we rarely tend to value the present moment, and we rarely recognize the opportunity to slow down our thinking and slow down the paths that have already been sort of kind of chosen, and the engine and the momentum that's already been kind of driven by our pattern thinking. Some people call the mind the monkey mind, as if it swings from branch to branch to branch of different ideas. And there's so much chaos in the sense of, like, we rarely slow down and see the opportunities that are available to us. And that's how being in the present moment, that's what being in the present moment gives us. That ability to slow down and say, oh, I could do something different. I don't have to do what I've always done. I don't have to choose this path because I've already chosen and gotten to this place. I have the opportunity to change or shift course. I don't have to be afraid of the future. I don't have to be afraid of what occurred or regret the past. Those things can go away when you're in the present moment because they really actually physically don't exist. They're just mental exercises. An example of how we value the past over the present moment is, say, for example, somebody that you care about significantly hurt your feelings a couple of days ago. And now 2 days later, here you are, and you're trying to get something done, but the feelings and the hurt is still occurring. You're basically indulging or allowing your brain to value something that occurred in the past over what is happening right now. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel your feelings and don't bury your feelings. I'm not saying that, but express your feelings, have those feelings. But then do you need to indulge in the mental activity that regenerates new hurt feelings? Or can you see that right now that past is gone and you have the opportunity to do things new? And maybe even solve the problem that occurred in the first place. That might be what you want to spend your time on, but it's not indulging in what occurred and generating emotions based on a mental pattern. It's about getting present and then moving forward. An example of overvaluing the future versus the present moment is, let's say you're dreading going to work tomorrow because you didn't get something done. So you spend your time before going to work tomorrow right now just dreading the fact that you're going to be hating life tomorrow. You could actually take actions now to help yourself for tomorrow. Or you could choose not to take any actions that are going to help you for tomorrow, but you don't have to dread tomorrow today. You can just choose what you want to do and focus on now because that's what you have available to you. A lot of what I've just been talking about doesn't sound very related to creativity. The point is that when you're able to get into the present moment, you're able to quiet down the brain and have the opportunities to see the choices that are available to you, including ones you may never have thought about, including ones that haven't existed up until now. That's the opportunity for creativity. You can now see opportunities or directions or choices that you can make that you hadn't been able to see before because you were locked into pattern thinking or left brain thinking that wasn't allowing you to really go nonlinear and go out there. So I have a few more exercises to finish up with that are more about the present moment than they are just about creativity, but I do believe that they'll contribute to creativity as well.